Welcome to Patricia Bellino's science class at Rahway Middle School in Rahway, New Jersey. Ms. Bellino's 8th grade students will be using Britannica Pathways Science in conjunction with a lab activity over the next 2 days to build their science understanding, research, and critical thinking skills in a lesson on density. In Pathways, students research and analyze evidence to support or contradict predictions, synthesize information, and evaluate arguments. Students can complete an entire Pathways lesson online, on a computer or tablet. In Ms. Bellino's class, students are also using Pathways printable worksheets to include in their science journals. Let's listen as the class starts the lesson.
Okay, so the question that the lab is going to center on today is we want to know if you can use density to figure out what a substance is. All right? We know that you can calculate density, but what do we do with that information once we have it? We're going to start with the nature of matter. It is under the matter section of Pathways. And just to remind you, this opening question, we want you to write freely. This is a prediction. We don't expect you to know the answer for right now, but we do want you to gather as much information you have right now, just from prior knowledge, into your journals.
A key question begins each Pathways lesson. In this case, can something that is invisible, such as air or heat, be a form of matter? Each Pathways lesson follows a simple 3-step framework that asks students to predict, investigate, and conclude. Students will use their prior knowledge to predict which of the 4 ideas presented best answers this question.
Kids need to think, critically think about argument. That's one of the new next generation science standards that we're in need of and we're trying to address here in Rahway. So I think this product helps that, fit that need. Teachers like the ability to do a pre-assessment. They're able to judge the prior knowledge that some of our students come in with. Our teachers can focus in on certain parts of the knowledge that they are lacking, and they can adjust using this.
Many students come to class with an inaccurate understanding about many key science concepts. Pathways lessons are structured so that students reveal their misconceptions based on their predictions.
Up front, there's 4 ideas. What we want you to do now is look at what you've already written, and then pick out the idea that is closest to what you wrote. Write in the next box in your worksheet or in your journal, why did you pick that idea? What part of that idea best matches what you have written? Now that you pick which one that you think best matches your thoughts, I want you to pick one that you think is just really far off. So pick the one you think least matches your original ideas and write a rebuttal to it. Why do you think it's incorrect?
In the investigate part of the lesson, students explore articles, videos, diagrams, and images to dig for evidence about their ideas. As they read and view the videos, the students take notes to cite evidence that supports or challenges their original predictions. These research sources, which are directly accessible in Pathways, have been reviewed by Britannica editors to ensure that the information is safe, up-to-date, and appropriate.
We just get our thoughts in first, and then we pick an idea that best matches our thinking. And then we go to dig for evidence. So there's a lot of different articles, and sometimes there's diagrams and videos. We try to get notes that can pertain to the idea, so either it supports it or it contradicts it. So a lot of times for me it'll contradict it, and then I'll see okay, I should have picked this idea.
Pathways, I actually do a lot of research in it, and it helps me learn also, and it's actually a more fun way than in class. What I like best about it is the articles are my favorite part. I really learn a lot from the articles, other than the videos and images, because I actually get to read about it and learn what it says and explains to me about what I'm learning about.
Rather than going to all these non-trustworthy sites and Wikipedia and all that, I can know that Pathways will have evidence that I can actually trust.
The most resources I use, there's pictures and videos. I use those the most because They're more descriptive. They're easier to understand because you can physically see the process going on. With Pathways, we get a lot of more information out. It's easier to pick out ideas, information. Without Pathways, it would be a lot harder because we'd be scrolling through a huge book, and that wouldn't be fun. 500 pages, it's not fun.
Pathways is just fitting in with what we have. I mean, it just works. It was amazing when we first were exposed to Pathways, when we opened it up, it was just every single topic just matched with what we were teaching. And it just fits seamlessly in with what we're doing. So if I'm doing solutions now, I can go back and give them something on density, or I can give them something on Earth history. And it gives them a good review. And it's I mean, especially since we're doing park assessments, New Jersey, I mean, all of that, that's a good review for them. And I don't have that luxury of going to say, open up your book and let's review this, because that's not going to happen. This gives me that review that I need.
So this is giving the children an opportunity to read informational texts and relate it to what they're learning about. Additionally, it's letting me differentiate my classroom a little bit more. I give the students the 2 that I want them to do, the minimal. They had to pick 2 more, so they have a minimum of 4. But what I tell them, if you're trying to be that high achiever and you're trying to strive for excellence, do as many Pathways assignments as possible. So those students are reading all the articles, looking at all the diagrams, so they really get to gauge their own learning. But I think it's great because we're giving them the vehicle to do that. We're not just saying try hard, but not giving them any tools. Here's a tool. If you want to go for it, go for it. And as you probably saw with some of my students, they're doing all of them, regardless if I have assigned them or not. They have it in their head that in order to be prepared, for the future, this is what they need to do.
There are enough readings, diagrams, the videos. There's enough there that each type of student can pick something, especially if you have inclusion classes, that you can go in there and say, my inclusion student needs to maybe look at this type of reading versus, maybe that type of reading. And you can differentiate your lesson based on the readings. Yeah, I mean, the teacher does need to go in and look. I mean, that's part of preparation, but I mean, it can be done, and it's easily done. It is meant for everybody, and each student can do it.
I'm a new teacher to the 8th grade curriculum. I've been teaching physics for 15 years or so. It's my first year in chemistry. So it's backed up my learning. It's made sure that I've uncovered my own naive conceptions or misconceptions. And it's helped me structure the classroom as far as giving them better background. And it's also helped me as an 8th grade teacher prepare for the NJ Ask.
It supports the Common Core. It matches the Common Core because it actually has a section where I can go and match up the Common Core to my lesson. And that's an excellent source for me. It really, really supports it.
Students complete the Pathways lessons by using their evidence to reach a conclusion that either supports or refutes their original predictions.
So, evidence for ideas. Where are we now between idea 3 and idea 4?
I'm happy with my choice. Heat is not part of matter, not a state of matter. They're saying that heat is energy is just the reaction of things moving.
Excellent.
And in the video it showed how heat transfers, and so what we were thinking was that heat does not have mass since it can only transfer. Heat wouldn't take space since it's not matter, it would just heat up an area.
Okay.
So heat is a form of energy, and it just either transfers through radiation, conduction, or convection, and it wouldn't really take up space.
Although the molecules in the air are very small, they still have weight, and from prior knowledge I know that anything with weight has mass.
That ability to change and willingness to change our original idea, like we tried to do in class today, that's what science is all about.
Pathway Science is accessible at any time on any device. Students can easily do lessons that have been assigned for homework, as well as explore other topics in which they are interested.
I also tell them this is a way to show off. Tell your parents, come look at this, and their parents can see what they're doing and, dazzle them with some of the misconceptions in the beginning, because adults have the same exact ones, and then at the end they could prove their parents wrong. And I have had parents tell me that feedback, that they're doing it with them.
Does it meet the curriculum needs, first and foremost? Okay. Is it something we need to, that we can adapt and implement that will address what our particular focus is at that time? Pathways allowed us to have an affordable product that addressed the needs as well as benefit the students with the right curriculum.
Pathway Science from Britannica Digital Learning can make a difference in your middle school science classes too. For more information and to request a free preview, call 800-621-3900 or email contact@eb.com.